Hi, fellow scientists. Here's a quick video about alt-LIMS. So what is alt-LIMS? Let's dive right in. First of all, as a biotech founder, one of the things that you care about is how do I manage high volume of data? Specifically, as my cycle from like designing to making to testing and analyzing is revolving with extreme precision, and I'm going through multitudes of different experiments and getting a lot of results. So when I get high throughput screening data, how do I make sure I have a good chain of custody? How do I make sure I have a good knowledge graph? And I think one of the key things that current LIMS systems don't solve for is how do they empower scientific team with high volume of data? They don't. And that's where I want to do a quick video talking about why we need new breed of data infrastructure or lab information management systems. So LIMS traditionally, you have certain features, right? Definition of LIMS is lab information management system, and it has key features like workflow or data tracking. And it also helps you in regulated environments and supports certain features such as connecting data for your sample chain of custody, helping you build reports for sample-centric workflows, or just even helping you become like a data repository, right? That's what traditional LIMS have been doing. But there's an evolution of alt LIMS where it's evolved from like simple sample tracking to like planning tool to multiple aspects of lab informatics, especially using generative AI. So let's take a look at like what this evolution looks like. So over the last decade, I would say like some of the limbs are moving from rigid to more configurable, from traditional to more modern. Let's look at these four buckets. So in 2010s, there was old school limbs, which takes forever implementation. And I know a lot of biotech companies are still using these systems. It takes anywhere from 6 months to 1 year to actually implement limbs in-house. Then there are new breed of limb systems that are built for one type of workflow. They are modern but still rigid. So for example, you are a molecular diagnostic company and you need a specific limbs that tailor to just exactly your workflow. And there are limbs that fit into this bucket really well. They're easy to implement, but as you evolve, as you grow as a company, it becomes really hard to keep using the system. And they're not API first, so they're very clunky, but easy to implement for one workflow. Then there are systems on the bottom right quadrant where they're API first. So they're very configurable, but still very traditional, meaning they don't take into account the generative AI features. For example, it's really hard to like use natural language to even write simple queries or Python scripts, but they're configurable. So they can be tailored to like different type of sample centric workflows. But I think like as biotech companies evolve, as data infrastructure evolves in biology, we need limbs that are flexible and API first, that don't take 1 year to implement. And on the same side, can also evolve with you as a company too. And I think that's where being flexible, API first, and also having the natively support capabilities of generative AI can be super helpful. And I think that's where Scispot comes in. So Scispot is designed as an alt LIMS, both for sample centric or high throughput screening or labs generating a lot of data. And ultimately, that helps you make data driven decisions. And that's a quick video on alt LIMS. Keep watching. I'll do more videos on how Scispot is helping biotech companies. Thank you.